Turk Barrett has an Infinity Stone in the Daredevil's backyard. Is Daredevil outmatched and outclassed? Is he out of his league when it comes to Infinity Stones? Let's check out Infinity Countdown, Daredevil number 1. So this book starts with basically an explanation of Daredevil, but I'm going to skip over that. And we're just going to go to the fact that he's on the way to the office today. He says everything's on edge, and then something very particular happens to him. Being that he's blind, he didn't expect to do one thing today, and that's see. But sure enough, standing in line, he looks over. I guess he wasn't looking, but in his peripheral, he sees the Mind Stone and the echoing out from the Mind Stone, the reverberations from it. Now, obviously, this immediately has Matt Murdock asking questions. He's like, hey, what is Turk Barrett, a resident lowlife, doing strutting around, first of all, with something I can see? Second of all, what's he doing with the Kingpin's cane? Now, Daredevil and Turk Barrett have a past. And because he's holding the Mind Stone, as Daredevil thinks back on the time where he was actually homeless at the time, and Turk Barrett stabbed him in an alley, he's thinking back on that. Turk Barrett can hear Matt Murdock thinking this, or he's acknowledging it through the Mind Stone, and he kind of laughs about it, that he figured the guy was dead in an alley somewhere and must be standing in line. Now, Matt Murdock is trying to figure out what's going on, and he changes into his Daredevil costume, and busts up to see at the criminal courts what was going on. And he looks in, he realizes this judge. He's like, man, this judge is a good man. So whatever Turk Barrett's up to, I shouldn't have to worry about it. It's going to go straight. And then Turk Barrett breaks out the Mind Stone and basically says not guilty and gets this guy off for whatever he did. And it shocks everybody in the courtroom. And Daredevil's not sure what's going on, but he knows somehow that Turk Barrett's behind it. And he observes basically them getting a huge payment from this scumbag to he just got off for whatever reason. Then Daredevil heads to a bar where he basically is going to interrogate some folks for, hey, how is it that Turk Barrett has judges in his pockets all of a sudden? Somebody's going to talk to me about it now, or you guys are going to lose your teeth. And the bartender just tells him, man, he ain't been around here. But Daredevil, hearing and sensing everything the way he does, he notices that one guy is he knows something. So he starts interrogating him a little closer. And Daredevil does get a good piece of information out of him. Basically, that, hey, yeah, Turk's ascending, and that he thinks the stone. Daredevil asks, hey, what is the stone? He says, I don't know, but I think it could read your mind. Unfortunately, this dude pays a price because all of these boys are like, hey, man, you shouldn't have said nothing. And we'll see him again later. Now, Daredevil does the one thing that anybody would do if you thought somebody could read your mind, and that's he's going to go get in the elevator while this dude is and say, hey, can you hear my thoughts? He's like, oh, yeah, I can hear your thoughts. And he starts blasting away, and it's on from there. Daredevil busts down through the elevator, gives him a good kick to the head, and he's like, hey, you're going to tell me what is up with this stone? Where did you get it? And you're going to tell me now. So to sum this up real quick, some Shaolin monks were fighting, trying to get the stone to Doctor Strange at Sanctum Sanctorum, and some scrolls popped in. They had a big fight. The stone went back and forth. It rolled out in the road, and Turk Barrett, who was working for Uber while his buddy was robbing the lady's house who was giving a ride, he just runs out, happens to pick up the stone, and then immediately gets just bombarded with hearing everything. He drops it at first, but then he picks it up and he suddenly realizes what he can do. Now, the guy here warns him, one of the cats warns him, hey, Requiem approaches. You must get that stone to the Avengers of Earth. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And look how he shoots. I mean, I don't even know what he's shooting at here. Is he shooting the guy? Is he shooting in the air? Is he just holding the pistol up to a light? They lost me on the Oh, yep. Then he did shoot him. So, eventually, I just didn't think he did it in the first one. So after the very informative elevator ride, Turk pushes Daredevil out, and some of his goons open up on him. He's whacking them. He's doing his thing. He's Daredeviling. It's looking good. And then he just gets whacked over the back of the head with the Kingpin's old staff with the stone on it. And he basically says, "Hey, forget about my stone." And Daredevil does. He basically goes and says, "Hey, I'm going to take you down." And he forgets about, "Hey, I'm going to take this stone to the Avengers," and all that stuff. He just completely forgets about it and runs off saying, "Hey, I'll take you down eventually." And that's it for Daredevil. He's gone. From there, old boy from the bar who mentioned the Mind Stone, he thought it had mind control powers. He's brought in. He's escorted in by some thugs, and he's basically dealt with real quick. And from there, you get a quick glimpse of Turk Barrett talking to someone, and we find out that he is bringing in Bullseye to help him take over the city. And that's it for Daredevil. Basically, in Daredevil, Daredevil got reminded that he is not a big timer. He is a guy that can hang out in New York City and fight some thugs and some ninjas. And that's about it. He got absolutely rocked in this one. So overall, good book. I really like the cover. The one with Turk Barrett with Daredevil hanging from a string. It's really good art. I really enjoyed that cover. And I like the story in this. It was actually pretty good. I think they're doing a good job with Turk and him trying to be this Kingpin fill-in, this cosmic Kingpin is what I've heard it called, and I like it. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be interesting watching him with the Mind Stone as we move on. So that's it for this video, though. Hey, click subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out some of my other videos, guys. Leave a comment, and Real Comic Stacks out!